What are the top 3 attributes you believe you have that make you a top-tier mortgage broker? And how can other brokers build those same attributes to help them push themselves on in their businesses and their careers? So top 3 attributes you have and how others can build them too.
I think there's an awful lot of good things that have already been said this morning by people. And first of all, thanks for the nice introduction. I am one of you. I've been doing it for quite a long time. I think the 3 things as far as I'm concerned, it's very fine margins, by the way. And I'm not sitting up here in any way, shape or form suggesting that I am better than anybody else, because I am not. You are all clearly very good at what you do. So it's very fine margins. I think the first thing for me and for our firm, it very much stems from commitment. We're all committed to the cause as a company. And likewise, at the same time, when we sit down with our customers, we try to obtain that commitment from those customers from the very outset. And I'm talking about this from a broker angle as opposed to, obviously, a mortgage wallet angle. On the back of that, it is then all about communication. The most important part of my business is exactly the same as yours, and that is the customer and the customer service that we're able to give to those people. And then the third and final thing is the consistency. So it's all about the 3 C's as far as we're concerned. It's making sure that you're committed and get commitment from your customers. It's making sure that your communication is at the highest level it can possibly be. And then it's about consistency and making sure that you follow those processes on an ongoing basis.
Love that. Thanks, mate.
I think something that we look at a lot, and it's easy to fall into this trap, is we give advice, not options. And I think that's a big thing for closing deals with clients. If you're finding yourself over and over again getting asked for different prices, different options, 2-year fixed, 5-year fixed, all this sort of stuff with clients, you're in the wrong space. You've not listened to their needs and given them your honest advice. We don't get to the point where we give clients options, because then we're going to give them time to go away and think about those options, come back with more questions and be unsure. I think the nature of anyone sat in front of us as a mortgage broker is that they want advice. They want you to tell them how to do it, not to give them 3 or 4 different options on different ways how to do it, because the thing people struggle with most then is making a decision on which way to do it. So it's something we do a lot in our businesses. We very much focus on the advice that we gave after doing the fact find is this is the deal that you should be doing, and these are the reasons why, rather than I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got that one, and then the client picks neither of the 3 and starts shopping elsewhere because they're trying to work out, are any of those options any good? So that's one of the things we really look at. Another one is just like self-accountability. It's just being good to deal with. We don't push referrals as much as we should. 95% of our business is grown on referrals, and we've got a client bank of about 6,000 now. And it's weird that we get so many referrals when it's not something we absolutely hammer. And I think a lot of it comes from just doing a really good job for the client. It's nothing new that any of us are a stranger to in this room, I'm sure. But just daft things like a client emails in after hours and it comes through on your phone. Don't wait till 9 o'clock to respond to it. Respond to it then if you've got the time to do it, because the client goes, Jesus Christ, I was not expecting that to come through. And it's just little key things like this mean they become your biggest fans. And it's something that we push really hard as clients become fans of our business and fans of our advisors. So that when someone comments on Facebook, which broker should I speak to, you don't have to preempt them to ask them to tell people that you're the best. Hopefully you've done a good enough job for them to trust you, to then push your name out there again and again and again. And that's how you really grow the business. Probably a third way we've done quite a lot more is setting agendas out for every client. So you've got to try and think that a client can be quite nervous when they come to see you, especially when they're trying to work out how they're going to go out doing whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. So we set an agenda out at the start of the meeting. And what I tend to do is I'll take 5 minutes before every single client appointment and just look at the case, look at the notes on the case, look at whatever documents we've already taken in off the client and get my head around where do I think this client's at and what do I think they're going to want out of the appointment. And then a structure, what do I want to get out of the appointment? So then I can start the appointment straight away with touching on what the client wants to find out from that day. But then I'll tell them straight away the agenda, nothing's a surprise to the client then during your client meeting, if they're well aware of what you're looking to achieve with them in that meeting on that day. And it just makes it so much easier to do business for people, and they're not fretting about getting in contact with you. They know that you can deal with them clearly and precisely.
Love that. Thanks, George.
3 things, I suppose. First of all, most important thing is you've got to enjoy it. And I very, very much enjoy it. Passion is very, very important because obviously it's a hard game. We all know mortgages is difficult. So if you have the passion, then the client will find that, won't they? You know, excitement is always infectious. So passion is very important. I'd agree. I'm probably going to repeat. Don't be a rate chaser. The business should be all about advice, not price. They can go on the internet and get the cheapest rate, can't they? And as we know, it might have a higher fee. It might not work. I 100% agree with George. And that, I think, comes down to positioning, which is the most important thing. Position yourself at the start. We've talked about it so many times before in this club. You position yourself as to what you want to have at the outcome. The start, the end will always come from the start. So we have strictly a no docs, no deal situation. My staff will not make an appointment with that person to come and talk about the mortgage unless all the docs are in. And then you're filtering out most of the people who are just rate chasers and quote hunters anyway, and tire kickers. So we've got no docs, no deal. Amazingly enough, the ones that are serious get those documents in straight away. And then the positioning of there, as we know, you get what you ask for. So we ask for all the usual stuff with the mortgage. I hear so many mortgage brokers say, this is a pain in the backside. I've got to get bank statements. I've got to get this. I've got to get that. You want all that? We ask for their wills. We ask for we do a budget planner. We ask for everything. We ask for all their investments. We ask for everything. So we're positioning at the start that we're giving them some advice, not just giving them a quote. We don't give them quotes over the phone. They've got to send the documents in first. So that would be important. Communication, as you said, very important. We're very much because I've been around a long time, we're very much a backward-facing business rather than a forward-facing business. And we're a great believer that if you look after the people, they'll look after you. So you can't have a conveyor belt mortgage brokerage. You're trying to find 100 people, new people every year, with 100 people falling off the back. We do a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month call. We're always in contact with those people. It's old-fashioned and cheesy, but we do birthday cards, anniversary cards, all the rest of it. I've got someone specifically dealing with that and sending those things out. They have to feel like they belong. You know yourselves how amazing it is that you get mortgages come in from someone they only dealt with 2 years ago. So just a quick tip there. The first question I ask is, if we've got a new person, who did you do your last mortgage with? Was it online? Was it high street, or was it an advisor? And whatever they say, and I say, well, so why haven't you gone back to them? They'll say blah, blah, blah. And so I just want to know, because I very, very, very rarely lose a client ever. If you're with me, then you're with me for life, and I'll even come to your funeral. So I want to know what the other person...
With a big check, yeah.
I want to know what the other person did to lose you to make sure that I don't. So just a bit of positioning there when you come in, but they would be the three things I think that makes us a bit different. The communication is great. Make the clients feel like they belong, and position the thing from the start that you're not just going to sell them a mortgage. This is not a transaction. This is a relationship, and one that they're going to enjoy and you're going to enjoy, and it's going to benefit both of you.
Great points. Thank you. Back to Adrian. So we've got ample time, so these don't need to be as rapid fire as I thought they might be. So first one for you is, name one thing that you personally do daily that you believe improves your performance at work.
I think we all know that the job is extremely intense at times, and you have to have personal time for yourself. For me, that's going to the gym. For other people, it may be other things. I think it's been mentioned up here a couple of times about people having sleepless nights over cases. If you've done the job and you haven't had a sleepless night over a case that you've done, you're lying, or you're just not passionate enough about your job and you don't care enough about your customers. For me, if we let it be too intense, it'll break you. It'll absolutely break you. So for me, very much, it's making sure that there is time away from work, whether it's family time, whether it's personal time, and making sure that you make time for that.
We probably should have shared notes, because my answer was exactly the same as that. But I look at it more from a client angle. So I've got 5 kids, and I will not miss bedtime with my kids. Doesn't matter how big the deal is that you want me to do, I'm not missing that a day in my life. So I'm very strict with my diary. It starts at 9, it finishes at 5. There's hour-long slots for mortgages or 90-minute slots for life protection appointments, and it's as simple as that. We've got 15 staff in the office who support 4 advisors, so we're very admin heavy. To help us get through those numbers a day, we can just sit in front of 6, 7, 8 clients a day and just give advice all day, which is a lovely position to be in and helps us do the numbers that we do. But we have to be very strict to do that. When the person rings on the phone, this new client, or they want to book in, but just before they book in, they just want a 5-minute chat with you to basically answer all the questions that they've got and then not book an appointment with you. So they've used your time and advice without giving you the commitment back. It's an absolute hard no from us, even if they're threatening, well, I'll just ring someone else to go get advice. good luck to you, mate, no problem at all, because we're too busy to just give a quick 5 minutes. And we can't, let's be honest, give anyone proper advice in a 5-minute chat if they're a new client. You just cannot do it. I also think from the client perspective, by blocking out your diary, I mean, we'll wait with any one of our advisors. It'll take roughly 3 to 4 days to get an appointment, even if you really need it urgently. Obviously, you've got to have systems in place for the super urgent ones who are offer accepted with an estate agent, breathing down the neck, trying to convert them to use their broker. You want to be a bit smart with that. But for the majority of appointments, there will be a 3 or 4 day wait when people book in. And I want clients to feel that. I don't want clients to hear, oh, actually, George has got 3, 4 or 5 o'clock available for you tonight, if you like, because it just looks shit. It just looks like you're not busy at all and you're desperate for any client that you can see. So I think by having to wait for you, it shows the client that it's a professional meeting and they come in ready to do business with you. I think another big thing with that as well is asking for clients to do it during the 9 to 5 hours. It effectively inconveniences the client. Most people will work 9 to 5, and that's actually a good thing in my opinion. So people might say that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because if a client's got to book some time off work to come and see you, you know they're going to transact with you. They're not coming out to do a beauty parade and check the rates or see what you've got to offer. They've probably already made that decision. It also means that hour that they give up is very, very important to them, and they want to get the deal done straight away. They're much less likely to have the kids knocking around in the background, distracting them, stuff going on, teas on the side. You're going to get their full attention, which means you'll transact with them straight away. So that's the non-negotiable for us, is the diaries are completely fixed. For our own purposes, for our own personal life, but also from a client's point of view, it's very stringent the way we do business, and we want to get people booked in.
Very true. I'm very much a list man, and I'm an early morning man. I operate best in the morning. I'm normally up very early, 5:30. I'm into the office dead early, so I like to have meetings with myself. So I'm a big list man, and I'm a great believer in bad news, good news. So I'm feeling most freshest in the morning, most positive about what's going to happen during the day. So I think it comes from a book. I think it's called Eat That Frog, and I read it once, so it's not my idea, but it was a great book, and it said that you want to get all the bad news out of the way in the morning. So all the stressful case you've got to deal with, all the people who got downvalued, all the people who got blown out, all the people who said they had a clean credit history when they've got 18 CCJs, all that stuff. Get it all out of the way in the morning, and then you feel it's not weighing you down all day. Because I'm a very positive person, but as we know, sleepless nights, it can get you down. And if you're passionate about it, involved with the client, if you know that you're going to let a client down, it does weigh on you. Otherwise, you shouldn't be in the business if you don't care. So my tip would be that get all the crap out of the way in the morning, eat all the frogs, and then you're free in the afternoon for all the good news to speak to other people and tell them the good news, great, you've passed, lovely, etc., etc., etc. So that's one of the things that I do, and the list is very important. I live off a list. I have to be organised, otherwise I start panicking about what's going on.
Cool, thanks for that. So next one, because I think, I imagine there is some people sitting in the audience thinking, 90 million lending, 600-700 grand, big figures, and Adrian's doing big stuff as well. Like the sheer volume, in order to do that volume of business, like, is there something around consistency, efficiency type stuff? So the next question is, name one non-negotiable for you to stay consistent and stay efficient in your meetings that protects your time but enables you to still do volume.
Do you know, we do get the questions beforehand, as it's been mentioned already, and I think George made a really good point that we should probably talk about our answers first, so we're not all saying the same thing. And sometimes, for those of you that don't know me, sometimes I massively suffer when it comes to confidence and kind of this imposter syndrome type scenario. It's actually quite nice to see two other really successful guys and me, and I'm not as successful maybe as these guys are on the mortgage numbers, but coming up with the same answers. For me, it's all about control. You have to control your diary. You have to control that hour slot. You have to make sure that you are dealing with the right people at the right time, and you absolutely have to be able to say no, because there are deals out there that shouldn't be done. There are deals out there that can't be done. We talk about ostriches, we talk about being a zoologist. There's no point in flogging a dead horse. If you can't do something for somebody, move on to the next one. I think it was Jamie earlier who mentioned about being a giver rather than a taker. It is all about giving to your customers. The more that you give to your customers, the more that you will receive from them in return. You don't make a big song and dance about referrals. I'm the same. We absolutely look after them. That's what it's all about.
There's a phrase I heard years ago, and I actually think it might have been from you, Terry, funny enough, which was do what you do best and delegate the rest. Remember that one?
That's Tony.
One of
I see
Tony's?
that, but it's Tony's.
Wondering where this has come from.
Sorry, but just one thing on that. Half the lines that we all know came from this guy, right? He's the Oracle originator, right? But there you go.
So
I won't take credit.
I'm sat with the founder then. So it's something, when I heard it, it really stuck with me. And I think it's so important because I find that you've only really got passion for something you really understand. If you don't understand something, you're not passionate about it, it will come across to your client. Don't try and take over the world. As we all become successful individual advisors, as probably most of us in this room are, you'll start growing a business then, and you'll start being in a position of working out, who do I take on next? Who do I employ admin? Do I go for a social media manager? Do we need an office manager? Do we need a protection manager? And all that stuff is stuff that can come in time. But you've got to recognise it early and recognise what you are good or not good at. Start taking on staff, look at things like a HR company, take that problem away, then taking you off the road and giving advice all day because you're having a headache with a member of staff. Social media, you don't want to be sat and doing social media posts yourself all day to attract clients when there might be clients you can just speak to directly that you've already got on the books and have someone else you can either outsource that social media to, or better still, try and get someone in-house to do the social media for you. The key is your time as an advisor while you're still giving advice is very, very precious. So you need to free up as much of that, if not all of that per day, to just sit in front of clients. Because if you're not sat in front of clients, you're not making money, you're doing something else to generate more clients. Well, actually, you need to fill the slots with the clients just to give the advice in the first place. So any part of your business that you're not comfortable with, not happy with, that's even going back to what the guys were saying earlier, commercial loans, bridging loans, either learn them properly yourself and do them or delegate them out to a third party. But anything you come across in your business that you're not completely confident with, find some really good homes for people that you trust to be able to pass this work out to be able to move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one, and not get stuck every time something comes across your desk, you try and learn it yourself. We don't have to do anything. I don't think people's brains capacity we can all handle doing every single product that a client asks us for. So just find people who you can work really closely with to delegate the stuff you're not as comfortable with and be really good at the stuff that you do and churn that side.
I'd agree with all of that. And it's funny, we didn't share the questions at the start. And because there isn't any new ideas, is there? It's all the basic stuff. And control is key. The phrase actually was, which I will share it with you, was the secret of life is to do what you do best, delegate the rest, then invest, and then rest. That was the actual saying, okay? But so just think about
Is
what I
that
said
rest
there.
bit new? Because I didn't know the rest bit. No? Okay. I didn't know the rest bit.
That's what we're supposed to do, aren't we? Yes, that's what we're supposed to do. Find something that we really enjoy doing and then get someone to pay us to do it. Yep. Earn good money doing that. Then buy property, buy stocks, do whatever floats your boat on the other side. Get yourself financially free. Then get on the beach and do what you want to do. So that's what we're here for at the end of the day. So that's where the saying came from. But control is important. So I'm a great positioner. You never, ever are arrogant with the clients because most of us guys are never that way, but we are very confident. And I went to a presentation once and the guy said that he was a rock and roll person. He said that people came to see Elvis. And Elvis was on the stage, but there was some backing singers, if you remember. There was the band, there was the conductor, and that's how he said how your office should be. At the end of the day, people are paying to see Elvis, and Elvis earns the most money, but you can't do it without everybody else, the band and the singers and everybody else. So I'm a great believer in what George said, do what you do best and delegate the rest. Our average mortgage is about 150 grand, so let's say we're going to get a £500 proc fee. We charge a 497 arrangement fee. If I'm with the client for an hour, it's £1,000. Let's just get that into reality. You're earning £1,000 an hour. So I've got some fantastic people that work for me. My team are ace. They've been there a long, long time. I love them. I look after them. But even the top person's only on £25 an hour. So if she's on £25 an hour or he's on £25 an hour and I'm on £1,000 an hour, that doesn't make me better than them. It's because they can all be advisors if they want to, can't they? But I'm not supposed to be doing the post. I'm not supposed to be sending emails. I'm not supposed to be ringing anybody up. Because at the end of the day, I'm Elvis, aren't I? And they're the backing singers, okay? No, I'm being serious. So do not do anything else that anybody else can do better than you or can do it for less money per hour than you. Delegate everything off. Do what you do best, yes? Agenda, always have an agenda. Otherwise, you're off with Uncle Albert onto war stories. Stick with the agenda on exactly what you've got to do. The appointment has to be exactly how long it is. You can't overrun. Because then you get in control of the client, exactly as you said. They're expecting, if they go to see a solicitor, just think about this one thing before I finish. If they go to see a solicitor, they're on £100 an hour and you're in and out in 2 seconds. So if you want respect, you have to earn respect. Don't send out quotes. Don't be like you've just started. Get control of the client as soon as from that moment of the phone call and you speak to the receptionist, and keep control, own the client. If you own them at the start, then you'll own them forever. Do not do anything that you're not good at or someone else can do less for you. And you will double your production if you get more admin. Think about the numbers. £1,000 an hour, £25 an hour. Be the best that you can be, and let other people be the best that they can be.
Totally was good. Elvis. I'm calling you that tonight. No, I completely get the analogy. It's bang on. Last question, guys. So there might be a few of these from you, Tony. What's the one line that you say the most in your fact finds, and how that helps you close volume of mortgages that you do? So a line that you say in your fact finds on the regular or all of the time that helps you do the volume that you do. Yeah. Class.
I think for me, and this is not, I'm not sat up here to plug Mortgage Wallet, but it has to be we have to tap into the younger generation smartphone addiction, which is actually transcended into every bloody generation now. That smartphone is never too far away. You mentioned about sending out birthday cards. It's fantastic, but it's time consuming, it's expensive. We do that via Mortgage Wallet in terms of sending out push notifications, and it's we think Mortgage Wallet does it best. You pay someone to do that for you. That's absolutely fine. It's great. I think what he's doing is fantastic. We are our business. So we spend 8 to 12 weeks on average with a client becoming their best friend. They really buy into us. We do a fantastic job for them, and then they're gone. And it's 2 years or 5 years, which absolutely flies by, which is scary in itself, before you actually speak to them again. Because you are so good at what you do, it kind of self-perpetuates a problem that we don't keep in regular contact with these people. You have to create these touch points. For me, it's about getting my business not just into their phone as a contact where it's somebody that they can call, but my business is there 24/7. You talk about responding to things as soon as possible, and people will turn around to me and say, I wasn't expecting a response now. And you just go in the extra mile for your customer all the time. For us, it has to, and I hate that it's a plug, and I wish there was something else that I could say to you, but it's absolutely getting people onto Mortgage Wallet. That's the biggest thing in our fact find, because the more that we use that, the more they'll come.
Love that. George?
Yeah, mine's quite a quick one, and it's just 2 words, which is next steps, which is something that gets said in every single contact with every single client ever. When we deal with a client, doesn't matter what stage of the process they are, every contact we have with a client needs to finish with a next steps. You've heard it in social media when you say like a call for action when you do a social media post. It's pretty much the same sort of thing as that. What is now going to come of this last interaction that I've had from you? So typically in an initial fact find, next steps are client wants to know affordability, client wants to know how much that's going to cost them a month. Next steps for me is to do the dip to make them feel like they're tied into us when they go out looking for a property. If it's protection, very similar. Next steps is we're now going to submit this to the insurer. It's a closed sort of direction for the client. If you let them go out and wander into the wilderness without next steps, that's when they're going to get taken from you, we tend to find. So as long as you have a very clear, decisive plan for that client, no matter what stage of the process they're up to, the next steps, even to the point where when you respond to an email, which me and Tony were chatting about before, is something you really want to stay off. Where AI can beat us all is text, but in voice, it doesn't seem to be quite there yet. So having physical conversations with the client, even you receive an email, you pick the phone up and you respond via a phone call, it's constantly being able to share the right level of tone, have a bit of a crack with them and have a bit of a laugh with them and remind them of why they've got you on their side, rather than just a quick email response without much thought, is where I think we're all going to go a little bit wrong, because it's dehumanising the situation all the time. So even on emails for a client asking you a question, I always want to follow up with a next step. So even if they've given me a question, what they should be doing next, to constantly help them with the directions to know which way to turn.
Very important. They send in the fact find, because as I said, we have a no docs, no deal policy. So just think about the fact find. Very important that you do a really, really proper fact find. We get in a fact find, and then I want to turn that into a feelings finder. So what we're trying to do is, that's the hard facts that come in on the fact find. So I want to find the soft facts. I want to try and get into this person's mind, get inside them, find out what the situation is, because my number one situation with that new person is that I want to own them for life. I'm thinking about the lifetime value of that client, all their friends, all their family, all the people they work with. You know, as Terry said, I don't do AI. I know everybody, that's great because I'm too old-fashioned for it, but I'm doing a different type of AI by doing the thing with the client. So if they're, as I said earlier, I've already said it once, my number one question is if you don't mind me asking, why are you sitting in front of me? So if it's a first-time buyer, why have they come to me rather than the internet, the bank or whatever? If they're a second, third, fourth-time buyer, what did the last person do wrong in order for you to have dumped him and now you're now with me? So I will ask them that question and say, that's fantastic. Please tell me, you know, what happened there? What was the feelings? What didn't they do? So they said, well, you know, they did the mortgage, then dumped me, never rung me back. So, well, that's no problem. That's not how it works here. We're going to do this. These are the next steps. This is what we're going to do, this, and that. So if we do that, then you're going to stay with us. So that's very important to me. And another one that I always use, which blows them right out, is, so would you mind just telling me a little bit about your retirement plans? And that's exactly what happens. Total silence. So I thought we were doing a mortgage. What did you say about that for? So it's completely related to the mortgage. When do you want to pay your mortgage off? When do you want to be financially free? Are we doing interest only? Are we doing capital repayment? Are we going to remortgage it to buy some buy-to-lets? You know, retirement is the most important thing. I'm a financial planner. I'm trying to get you financially free. So what's your retirement plans? They stop asking what the interest rate is about 3 seconds later. It's just trying to reposition them and frame it, but might not work for you, but if it does, you know, it does really take them back. So work out why they're with you in the first place, to own them for life, and then to reposition and confirm and reinforce that point you're going to own them for life, then start talking about their retirement plans. So I guarantee you every single person they went to see about their mortgage never said that.
Love that. Huge round of applause for the mortgage panel, please. Thank you.